Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fascinating and classic game from the 1960 World Chess Championship, where Mikhail, known for his daring tactics and sacrifices, faces the defending champion, Mikhail Botvinnik. Let's dive into this exciting game and break down every move. 1 e4 c5. Tal opens with the king's pawn opening, and Botvinnik responds with the Sicilian defense, one of the sharpest and most tactical openings in chess. 2 nf3 e6. Tal develops his knight, eyeing the central squares, while Botvinnik prepares to fianchetto his bishop with the move e6. 3 d4 cd4. Tal challenges the center by pushing d4, and Botvinnik captures it, creating an open position. 4 nxd4 a6. Tal recaptures with the knight, and Botvinnik plays a6, preparing to push b5 and expand on the queen side. 5. Tal develops another piece, reinforcing the center, while Botvinnik places his queen on the 7 square, adding support to the c5 pawn. 6 b2 nf6. Tal develops his bishop, preparing for kingside castling. Botvinnik develops his knight, ready to control central squares. -7. Tal castles, securing his king. Botvinnik responds with a solid move, developing his bishop. 8 f4 Tal pushes his pawn to f4, aiming to control the center and prepare for future attacks. Botvinnik castles to safety. Sut9. kh1 d6. Tal moves his king to h1, a subtle defensive maneuver often seen in Tal's games to avoid potential checks along the g1a7 diagonal. Botvinnik d6, reinforcing his center. 10 a4 nc6. Tal starts pushing on the queen side with a4, and Botvinnik develops his knight to c6, preparing to challenge Tal's central pawns. 11. Tal develops his bishop, staying flexible. Botvinnik responds with bd7, connecting his rooks and preparing for later strategic moves. 12. nb3 rac8. Tal shifts his knight to b3, eyeing the c5 square. Botvinnik plays rac8, putting pressure on the c-file. 13. a5 nb4. Tal pushes a5, gaining space on the queen side. Botvinnik counters by placing his knight on b4, eyeing Tal's c2 pawn. bb6 qbh. Tal pins the knight with bb6, forcing the queen to move. Botvinnik retreats his queen to b8, staying active and maintaining control. 15 g4 bc6. Tal advances g4, preparing for a kingside attack, and Botvinnik places his bishop on c6, trying to hold back Tal's aggressive pawn structure. 16 bf3 nd7. Tal moves his bishop to f3, putting pressure on the h5 square. Botvinnik places his knight on d7, solidifying his position. 17 b2 nxb6. Tal retreats his bishop to g2, eyeing the long diagonal. Botvinnik captures on b6, opening up the queen side. 8 axb6 rfd8. Tal recaptures with the pawn, opening the a file. Botvinnik shifts his rook to d8, centralizing it and applying pressure. 19 d5. Tal prepares to activate his queen with qe2, while Botvinnik plays d5, challenging Tal's central control. xd5 bxd5. Tal captures the pawn, and Botvinnik recaptures with the bishop, activating his piece in the center. 21 nxd5 nxd5. Tal exchanges knights, and Botvinnik recaptures with the knight, aiming to control key squares. 22 f5. Tal pushes his pawn to f5, launching a kingside attack, and Botvinnik captures on b6, continuing to trade material. 23 fxe6-6. Tal pushes his pawn to f6, gaining space. Botvinnik plays f6, trying to block Tal's attack. 124 na5 rc7. Tal prepares to pressure the 7 square, and Botvinnik defends with rc7. 25 rad1 qc8. Tal brings his rook into the action, aiming at d7. Botvinnik moves his queen to c8, eyeing the long diagonal. Card 26 rxd8 plus bcd8. Tal sacrifices his rook with rxd8 plus, forcing Botvinnik to recapture with the bishop. 27 c4. Tal pushes the c4 pawn, gaining space. Botvinnik retreats his bishop to e7. 28 rd1 na4. Tal places his rook on d1, preparing to invade. Botvinnik places his knight on a4, trying to create counterplay. 29 bd5 b6. Tal develops his bishop to d5, exerting pressure. Botvinnik's knight retreats to b6. 30 b3 h6. Tal pushes his b-pawn, creating a passed pawn. Botvinnik plays h6, hoping to slow down Tal's kingside attack. 31. QE4. Tal activates his queen while Botvinnik pushes his rook to c5, aiming to disrupt Tal's attack. 32. NX b7 answer. Sure, Tal captures on b7 with the knight, and Botvinnik plays rc7, trying to defend. NX d5. Tal pushes his c5 pawn, and Botvinnik recaptures with the knight. 34. Rx d5, qx b7. Tal sacrifices his rook to push for the win. Botvinnik grabs the b7 pawn, but it's too late. 35. Q6 plus kf8. Tal activates his queen, giving a check to the king. Botvinnik moves his king to f8. 36. Q of 7, and Tal delivers a brilliant checkmate. With 36 QF7 up, the black king is trapped and there's no escape. This game is a perfect example of Tal's style. Aggressive, tactical, and full of surprises. His combination of sacrifices and attacking play overwhelmed Botvinnik's defense. A true masterpiece. If you enjoyed this game, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chess insights and historical games. See you in the next video.